Hello, everyone. My name is Tim Tang from Hughes, and today I have the privilege of speaking with Karthik Ganesuni. Karthik, can you tell me what is the challenge with it? What is the opportunity, and what is the challenge when it comes to APIs?
Well, Tim, APIs are interesting because the whole world is run by APIs. The entire world is a system. Everything is run by systems, right? But the API is a way into the system, right? So the better designed the API is, the more adaptable or adoptable is the correct word actually. The API is, the better it can be utilized. Especially nowadays, companies are just so interconnected. There's multiple vendors. There's multiple technologies that they're integrating with. So all those technologies and vendors, they have their own APIs. So our benefit needs to be, how do we bring all that together, right?
Can you talk a little bit about what happens and how do you bring them all together?
Yeah, so especially within our domain as like an MSP or those kinds of companies, we're as I was saying earlier, we're interfacing with so many vendors and so many technologies. There's a lot of vertical integration with the same vendor and their tech stack. But the real value is how companies can integrate across, in a horizontal fashion across many vendors and the many technologies, because that brings about a lot of value that they can bring to their customers and their consumers. So, but that then becomes the headache, the burden and the headache then becomes on that company, the central company, to how do I integrate with all these other companies? We don't generally want the customer to have to deal with the headache, right? And so we want to take on that burden. So that's the problem that we're trying to solve these days.
I imagine if you're dealing in a vertical integration, it's easy. One company controls everything.
Correct.
How do you integrate horizontally?
So, and that's the thing. There's a concept we talk about internally. We call it declarative intent versus imperative intent. So declarative is like the what, and the imperative is the how. So we want the customers to only worry about what they want to do. Hey, I want to add a route to my firewall. Hey, I want to add a URL to my whitelist, that kind of thing. So again, as you were saying, if you're trying to do that across one vendor and their technology, it's easier because they all speak the same language within that. The firewall speaks the same thing as the router and the AP and so on, right? But as you go to different, if it's a multi-vendor deployment, they have different APIs, they have different, steps that you need to take these actions. So then, again, the declarative, the customer is just telling us, I want to add one route. We might need to take 7 steps with one vendor, we might need to take 11 steps with a different vendor. That's our problem. And we have to build in the safeguards, we have to build in the checks between the vendors. We have to normalize everything. So they don't see any of that, but we have to, that's where the benefit for these companies become, right? With the API integrations and like a highly orchestrated, highly automated systems in that setting.
And last question, Karthik, what do you do at Hughes?
That's exactly what I do. So I am a systems engineer, I'm a principal systems engineer, and I'm responsible for architecting just a distributed systems that we have here at Hughes that interact with our multiple vendors, but also our internal operational systems, right? So we want to make a really good experience for both our customers externally as well as our customers internally, our support teams, our network engineering teams, and so on and so forth.
Karthik, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us.
No problem. Thanks, Dan.